Hey everyone, Brendan from Goalorious. Today I'm super excited to be joined by Judd from Unlisted. Hey Judd, thanks for joining me today.
G'day Brent, good to be here, mate. We've got so much to cover. There's so many exciting things happening in crypto right now, hey?
Definitely. So maybe you could give my community a quick background on who you are and the project you've come to talk about with today.
Yeah, sure. Well, Unlisted Project, my background is I founded Jaybird, the wireless headphone company, about 15 years ago now. And for a decade, we pioneered all that. And we sold to Logitech in 2016. And that was my opportunity to get back into trading because I was trading before Jaybird back like mid-2000s. And here is Bitcoin, this beautiful thing that we can trade and really grow our financial wealth exponentially. And my goal is to make sure I can get everyone who's in Unlisted Project to be millionaires. That's my goal, right? And the way that you can do that, I listened to Shaq, the NBA player, the basketball player. I listened to him give advice to, I think it was one of the upcoming centers. And he said, hey, look, just have a goal of getting 6 points per quarter and so many rebounds per quarter, and then you'll be essentially MVP is what he was saying. And I loved how he broke it down so simply. So when you look at what it takes to turn, say, $5,000 to $1 million over a few years in crypto, all you got to do is double your money every 6 months. And I love that formula, just kind of inspired by Shaq. And that's what we do. That's our formula. We have been doubling money every 6 months. And when you do that, it's like compounding exponentially, and you get from 5K to $1 million. Just pull out your calculator and do double times 8, and you get to $1 million. So that's our goal. We're doing quite well just trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. We outperform both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But today, man, I really want to just give your viewers some awesome value, no strings attached. We have a really cool tool that shows the bottoms and the tops for every altcoin, for every run and every season. So it'd be cool to go through those and show you what it's all about.
Definitely. Sounds cool. Yeah, I have a Shaq. It's not a fact, but it's not a good one. His dad told Shaq dad told him if he just made 2 free throws, because he had a low free throw percentage, if he made 2 more free throws every single game than he did, that he would be have the most points ever in NBA history or something like that. But because he missed them. But yeah, let's definitely check it out. That was gonna be my first one. I did a video on Eternity and Shaq's new NFT, the Eras of Dominance. So maybe we could check out Eternity ERN to see how they're doing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds exciting. I've heard a lot of good things about your platform and tool, so I'm excited to check it out myself. So
yeah, cool. Should I just share my screen now?
Yeah, you can share your screen. I'm big into NFTs and things like that. So ERN would be Eternity Chain, would be an interesting one to check out. And I have a couple other ones that I'm interested to see. But yeah.
All right, let's do this. Whoa, that was cool. Okay, do you see my screen, mate?
I do see your screen. Perfect.
All right, cool. All right, let's nail it. So this is a tool that all of our members at Unlisted Project have access to. If you ever want to go check it out, it's unlisted.io. And we have team calls, and we just had a 3-hour call this week because there were so many interesting setups with altcoins, and everyone wanted to see what their potential was, where they are they too far advanced to get into? And that's another great thing that, like Mana just recently had a pump, and Mana actually went to the top of its red band. And so we instantly knew, nah, it's not a time to be adding to a position in Mana right now. It's time to be exiting and taking profit. That's the power of this. So this is Bitcoin, and this is where it originated from. You can see that it begins in this green accumulation or buying zone, gets to the midpoint, and then look at that beautiful tap out at the very top at red there. And then it reaccumulates down here in the green zone. So this is a fantastic tool. I mean, aside from everyone's got to have some Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? That's your foundation. But then your altcoins on top of this, it's just very, very powerful. But this is just Bitcoin to start off with. Look at it tapping out there at red. And not only that, hey Brent, you see how it winds up right here on the mid band?
Yeah.
Climbs up mid band and then launches up to red one more time. Comes down to mid band before it says, you know what? I need to have a bear market for a while. And it goes down and accumulates where? At green again.
Perfectly, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And then up here, all the way up into red again, maxes out at red. You can see here right at the mid band, that's where it came to a point, came back down here into gray. Now you'll notice because Bitcoin's getting more mature, it's actually being bought up sooner now. It's no longer going down to the green accumulation zone. It's just going down to this gray area. And where are we now? Well, here we are now, and we know where the top is for Bitcoin. It's just a matter of when it will get there, because you've got this red band here, right? And that's what's key. And we don't know when it's going to get there, but when it does, we will know that the top is in. And that's the power of this. And you can see that, let's say the top of the market is, let's say it's going to be April. Let's put it there. And I'll mark that with a, whoops, that's the wrong one. I'll shift that back over here. Okay, so we know that the top, if it was to be April, the top for Bitcoin is somewhere around about 197. So it's about 200,000. Let me round that up to 200. There we go. That's powerful, eh?
Yeah, that's for me, especially because I am not great. I don't have a financial background. I have a marketing and sales background. I don't know. Have you ever seen me talk about charts, etc.? I'm not good at them at all. So this tool is definitely helpful. In my head, I'm selfishly thinking like I want to use this tool to, for myself and things like that. So maybe just a couple of questions. So each of those colors, obviously, that makes sense. But how does like the calculations happen? Like, I assume it's like a formula in your back end that how you set every color, et cetera, right? Like that's how they're formulated.
Yep. It's a proprietary methodology that we use. And it's using all of the data of the entire history of the coin. And it's phenomenal how even when you have a brand new altcoin, like let's say this is Binance Coin as an example. And what we've found—
Binance Coin. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah. What we've found consistently is that altcoins, they start here in accumulation. Let me turn that to yellow so it's a bit brighter. And then it'll go into the mid band here, but then go for a reaccumulation right here, right? And look at how long it stayed in reaccumulation. You could have been buying that all day long, and then it just pumps up to aqua, comes back down for some more reaccumulation. But all these times are great times to buy. Like this is March 2020, as you probably know. And then bam, right up perfectly to red.
Right.
And then
is the guidance, and I know you don't want to give advice specifically, is like, again, if it's green, if it's in the dark gray, that's when you should be buying anywhere near you wouldn't be buying anywhere above essentially the light gray. You wouldn't be buying, right? Like that's where.
Yeah, you can actually see how. I mean, depends on your time frame. Like if your time frame is I'm only going to buy once every 3 years, which hardly anyone does that, then you'd be buying here and never touching it until it reaches here, right? I mean, I see. That's obvious, but look at this. There are plenty of opportunities that open up along the way. See how this mid band here is being bought up by the whales every single time. That's a very high confidence buy all the way through there. I see. Yeah, and so we know the next data forecast.
This data forecast until what is it? Is that? It's looking at just up until today, right?
Yeah, up until today, so we can project that out. And just to give a number for
that's great,
Binance Coin. So we're talking about that's 3,000. We're currently at 550, going to 3,000 on Binance Coin.
I'll be very happy if that goes up to 3,000. That's probably, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and
That's a 440% growth in just several months. But there's coins out there that are insanely great, like much better than that even. And that's the power of this tool, because you're always wondering, that setup looks amazing, and I love the story of this project over here, and you end up dividing your money into so many different pies that you're fairly diluted. What if you knew which 2 or 3 are most likely to be the best because they have the highest potential and the best track record, the best structure historically, and you can put your money into the right ones? That's the power of it. And then not only that is, if you do decide to come over to Unlisted Project and join as a member, then you get this ongoing information as to when we might hit that red band, and when we do, boom, you've locked in 100% of that profit, and you don't lose it, because like here on Binance Coin, it goes so quick. That's the problem is, with crypto, it's so exciting, but here in just a week, it's gone down 50%. So if you miss that top just by a week, then you lose 50% of your gains. And that's the power of this tool is look at that perfect clip into the red band where you take your profit. If it drops down 50%, you would go again and bam, you're up again.
Yeah, I can even see that I think it's that tracking, like the hour, like literally the hour that happened or something like that.
Yeah.
On here, which is awesome. And then, I saw like on your website, I think you guys do like some sort of like notifications and things like that when.
Yeah. So we have automated trading. Actually, I didn't even mention that. So we trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. We outperform them both, but it's all automated. So you just link up your exchange account with Unlisted and the trades happen for you. We have ongoing market commentary to support that. And then also we have these team calls where we go through any altcoins that you want to do. And we help you just understand where they are in their cycles and all that. But
yeah, because it's hard because like, even though like obviously crypto is, a 24/7 thing, right? But as humans, we need to sleep at least 6 to 8 hours a day. And usually these dips unfortunately happen at like, my time, like midnight or 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and things like that. And I just missed the opportunity because I'm sleeping. And, when is it? It's never going to be like I'm waiting to buy as soon as it hits the dip. That's never going to happen. So I think having a tool, I think is obviously amazing. So,
this just gives you so much perspective. What are your favorite altcoins? What are the ones?
Yeah, so I was talking about ERN just because you were talking about Shack, and so that's Eternity Chain.
What's the ticker on that one?
ERN.
ERN. Okay. Let's do the Tether on Binance. Get rid of that. So I've also got to line the ribbons up for that as well. ERN USDT on Binance. Boom. All right. So it looks like a fairly new project. All right, I love these. Okay, cool. So you can see that this tool has already lined up and knows where its potential is at the top. I mean, obviously they shift and drift around, but the concept is this. Every asset, whether it's real estate, whether it's oil and other commodities, or whether it's crypto, they all have a bound in which they can trade within. They can't just go from $10 to $1 billion. We all know that that's never going to happen. And whether it's human psychology in the way that we trade or whether it's some other force, but whatever it is, tends to be a boundary in which it can operate. And we've seen that with the Bitcoin example, with the Binance Coin example. So here we are with ERN, and we can see that it's straight up in accumulation status right now. Mm-hmm. That's all it's doing. And there's a lot of potential there. Of course, I prefer to trade coins that have already put in some structure that show they're actually wanting to go now, not later. But
I see.
This is such a great safe buy. Like, it's interesting you identified this one because ERN is right at the accumulation zone. The risk factor here is so minimal, right? I mean, the whole zone here is 50% range, but in an accumulation range, that's what you'll get. But as far as like potential, I mean, a red band right now is 2,000%. That's 20x up from where it is right now, $12 to $274. Who knows where it will be in actual fact when we get there, but that's an example of what could easily happen on that.
Unfortunately, I bought at $68 on this, and right now it's at 12 or something. Or what's the high? Sorry, not 60. Maybe not. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but it was definitely a bit higher when I bought it. I bought it at pretty much at the peak of it. But ERN's an interesting one because yes, they are new. And again, I'm not sponsored, but the idea was that they're an NFT marketplace and they do big deals with like Messi and Shaq and NFL players, so they're fairly new. So
that's cool.
There's a lot of potential. So I think you were talking about it earlier, where like people look at roadmaps and things like that and what's coming, but you're just checking out the price. But it's interesting where it's like, okay, well, this is what it is now. The potential which you showed is definitely there. So I think that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about
another interesting one that I look into again, and I'm throwing a lot of these NFT ones is Okomi. So OMI, OMI.
Which exchange would probably Ascend or OKX?
Ascend X, I guess they're on that, and then Gate.io and Bit4X and things like that.
Oh, there you go. There's more info on this.
So yeah. So this was the NFT Akomi by Vivi. They have like an AR app, and they have like Marvel and Disney. They have like a bunch of these partnerships and things like that. So very early on, this got really popular. Andre Jick, the YouTuber, bought like, I don't know, like $100,000 worth of Omi or something like that back in April or something like that. That's probably the spike there.
Right. Well, this one here, it very rarely do you see it drop out the bottom like that. Normally, it's a coin that's lost like 98% plus of its value.
Definitely.
This one
100%,
here lost.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, lost 91% pretty quickly. So it's quite a volatile coin. So
it's been very volatile. There was, just because it's NFTs, and like I felt like 2 months ago nobody was talking NFTs. This lost a lot of like hype because they haven't updated anything. So it's good. Yeah, that's really interesting to me that it went below what it was expected. I mean, it's not surprising to me because I've been holding and watching it for the past couple of months, but having this knowledge earlier would have been great for me.
Yeah, well, it looked pretty good to begin with, but this is pretty rare. You don't normally see that kind of price action. But as far as percentage increase from here, I mean, if it were to reach up to red band, you're talking 15 cents and over 2,000% there. But again, this one here, you don't know. There's not a lot of strong track record behind it to know that it's going to get there with confidence quickly. I can show you an example of one that would do it well.
Cool. That's probably me always looking for the newest alt, and that's the risk that we always take is like, oh, this has a lot of potential, but like, is it smart investing? You need the data there, and I come from a sales, marketing, analytical background, so seeing data points and seeing at least I think you're showing one that potentially has almost a year's worth of data is definitely more. These are more appealing.
Well, this one here is very advanced. Like we love the ones that are lower down as well. But I also like this is AXS, and you can see that it's following the typical altcoin behavior where it begins in accumulation, goes to the mid band, comes for reaccumulation a couple of times, and then goes on fire here. Now, having said that, wrong button, let's delete those. Okay, there's a wind up happening here, which is really exciting too. You can see that there.
Yeah, I see, right
there.
Yeah,
you got one impulse, two impulse, three impulse. And on top of that, look where it's finding its next level of support right there on the mid band, the white band. See that there?
I see it, yeah.
And you've got a bull flag. Popped out there, a bit of a wind up actually. Popped up, come back to rest here once again on that band before I believe we're going to red. Like that looks pretty exciting. AXS, it's got a ton of tailwind behind it. Its performance is exceptional, and where could it be? Well, red band is it's quite aggressive. I mean, it's going to go up something like that, and then you've got let's say we go out to April as an example of where we could find our top. There's April.
Yeah,
you could be up there, and that's. I'm going to put it there, bit more conservative, 3,500% at 4,700. And remember, time really does change these bands, and when we hit these bands, that's what matters. And so, if you're really interested, if you think this is powerful and you're really interested in this, go check out Unlisted.io because it's really important to keep the finger on the pulse with this, so you know when it's going to hit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more for you, just because I'm personally curious. Cardano, how does Cardano look?
Oh yeah, okay.
That was an interesting one because it stayed at like $2.10 or no, $1.20 for like I felt like months or something like that, and then
yeah. Well, ADA is the one that was the first one I found that had actually fallen back down the low accumulation band for so long. And why? Because it lost 99% of its value. That's practically going to zero, and that's why these bands essentially capitulate, because it can't handle 99% loss.
Yeah.
That's insane. So if you held through that and you're up where you are now, you deserve it. My goodness.
I did not. January 2021 or something like that.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, right. So you can see here that every time Cardano gets to, well, there's one here, couple here, these wicks, these buy prices right in here. These are all buy zones, clearly. So if you're looking for a low risk entry on Cardano, this appears to be a great low risk entry right on the mid band. It's getting bought up every time. And where's red band going? Let's check it out.
Wow. Yeah.
So March, April would be put it there.
Hopefully.
So that's a 750% growth at $16 based on that estimation. It's never gotten to red band yet. See that?
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty exciting event.
Well, it took a while to get even to blue band, right? So,
yeah.
But these bands actually I like a lot. Like I haven't seen like this visuals before where they print the bands, and I think that actually makes a ton of sense because I always try to figure out, makes it know exactly, okay, when's the best point. First, just looking at a chart, you just never know, especially nice having all that history behind it.
For sure. Can I show you another one?
Of course.
If there's any others, let me know. You want to see, let me know. Theta is interesting. The setup currently is interesting. Let me just bring up the ribbons for Theta as well. All right, so this one is the normal path for an altcoin is accumulation mid-band right there, come back down for reaccumulation. You can see it never did it. It actually just kept winding and charging, right? And it went straight up. Once again, look how that perfect kiss on red band. That is insanely accurate, this tool. See that? Wick. And you could give me any altcoin and it'll just spit out the data. We don't know what it's going to show until we pull it up. But look at that buy there on the bottom of gray, buy there on the bottom of gray. So just like Bitcoin, it's shifted its accumulation. It's no longer accumulating in green, it's accumulating in gray. And so it's at a beautiful location. It seems to be a low risk. It's just starting to get a bit perky. You can see that there's essentially a resistance line through here. It's going to be breaking soon and going up for a red. It's already hit red. It's demonstrated that it wants to get there and to get up to another red.
Yeah, this tool is perfect for me because like I'm not very good with like graphs and forecasting and things like that. So giving a sense of where it's headed, even though for me, I don't know exactly where it would go, but at least it gives me some idea of, as long that it's when to jump in, when to potentially get some initial investment out.
Yeah, this one's a 10x. This one's going about $90. I'm estimating there. So yeah, it is a powerful tool, and it's tough when you're in crypto because it's so volatile. And I remember back in 2017, I was in Tron up 10x. I was in Stellar Luna up 10x, and it was at this really nice parabolic point. And I was thinking, should I take profit? I had this voice in my head, maybe you should take profit, but I didn't. I thought, no, I'm going to trend trade this. I'll let it pull back to 20% or whatever, and I'll go up for the next hike up higher.
Right. That
20% drop ended up being an 80% drop on Bitcoin and even more on altcoins. So all the great money that I made in 17, I lost a ton of that. And a great trader taught me once that it's not what you make, it's what you keep. This tool here helps you to be a great trader because it helps you to keep the money that you've earned, and I just love it. So I thought that.
Yeah, I'm always looking for ways to, again, because I don't really have the experience of like trading. I didn't trade that many stocks before, and looking at charts and stuff like that is still relatively new to me. So I do think having a tool like this to help me assist is great. So maybe you could tell my community, like, if they're interested in this, how they can be involved and things like that. I think I saw on your website you guys were striving for a specific number, and then like after that number, you're not letting anyone else in because I think you also said that you also get the tool, but you also get like access to like this community or like resources. So maybe you could talk about that.
Yeah, we've got a really killer community of really good quality people like-minded people, very just everyday people, but a really high caliber of community there. And we're aiming just for 1,000 people. We have about 600, almost 600 right now. We've been on the auto trading system since April, but trading with trade signals that people used to trade themselves before that. But now that since we're on auto trading, we have 600 people in. Retention's 100%. I haven't seen anyone leave. They love it. So we're going to 1,000, and then after that, the only way you'll be able to get in is if you know someone. My goal, I've already had a big company with Jaybird. It was a big job, and I'm kind of semi-retired, and I just want to keep it small. So that's my style now.
No, that's cool, and that's perfect. And I think that's it's smart to you want to be part. You don't want to be a part of a community that has like 1 million members in it and things like that. You don't feel like you're able to get your questions answered and things like that. And I'm sure when you guys take feedback, you take feedback from everyone in the community. They feel like they're really part of something special. So I think it's super interesting. I'll put the link in the description for this project. Thanks for jumping through those ones with me today. Was there anything else you wanted to mention before we sign off today, whether about the project or the opportunity or anything like that? I
guess just overall, our outlook on crypto right now is very, very bullish. I think everyone's gotten onto that train at this point, but at some point the party's going to be over, right? And it happens quickly. So I view my job is to help people who are, busy in their life, or new, or even experienced. You can always use a bit more information and a bit more intel. My goal is to help people to retain that growth and to maximize the possibilities. When you look at where Bitcoin has come from to where it is now, people go, whoa, it's come a long way. But when you walk in a zigzag, a diagonal line like this, you walk a lot further than if you went in a straight line. So Bitcoin, the true money to be made in Bitcoin is in understanding where those key turn points are. And when you stretch it all out, it's gone way further than where it currently does show on its price. Same with altcoins. So my goal and Unlisted's goal is to help you maximize those zigzags. So you stretch it out and you do way better than a hodler. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting maybe a couple of months from now to check in on the ERNs and the OMIs, that ones we looked at, to see how those ended up, because they're still very early on. I selfishly call those out because I'm a big holder in each one of those, and it hasn't been great for me, but I'm interested to see how everything turns out there. And,
you picked some beauties right there because they are so early in their cycle. That's really cool.
I'm not taking credit for that. I just, whatever BitBoy Crypto recommended, I'm like, okay, sure, that sounds good. Cool. Don't do that. Nobody do that. Nobody listen to I mean, listen to him. Don't listen to it. Again, do your own research. But, so I think that's awesome. I can't wait to see more updates from Unlisted and things like that. I can't wait to see that retention rate is amazing. People that stay in, they must be happy, must be getting gains, must be happy with obviously the tool and the community. I can't wait to hear some maybe use cases or success stories, which I assume a ton of them have and things like that. So thanks. I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. So
thanks, Brent. Great to be on.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.